A few Rileys hiding away in here. Wow, these are beautiful, aren't they? Beyond the Porsche Carrera GT, we've got an absolutely gorgeous Jaguar XK 120. Now that is absolutely lovely. Today on Car Traction we are at Bicester Heritage for the January edition of the Bicester Scramble. Now of course, as anything on Car Traction, classic cars are the order of the day, such as this lovely Triumph Stag over here, but there will be so much more: modified cars, sports cars, classic cars, vintage cars, everything you can possibly think of. So let's go and have a look to see what we can find. Now, classic cars are promised, and by the look of the public car park over here, it's going to be a very interesting show with lots and lots of lovely classic cars, such as this 4.2 litre Jaguar E-Type. That's a really nice one. Got a very nice Porsche that looks like a bit of a road rally car to me, with the Mobil Oil stickers among other stickers. And we got a Citroen Visa 14. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those before. That is really rare. We got an Astra, a few more things. Got an E30 BMW. That's a 325i, so 2.5 litre straight six. And over here we've got a Peugeot 205 next to a Ford Escort. But let's see if we can find something that little bit older. Behind the Plymouth we've got a very nice looking BMW 2002 Italian coupe in the form of this Lancia Fulvia. I do really like these lovely car next to the also front wheel drive Mini. I don't even know what that is, a Skoda or a Seat? Please let me know if you know, followed by a Carrera Porsche. Anyway, back to the Lancia. This is a really nice car, definitely a bit of me. Speaking of Lancias, over here we've got a real rarity, a Lancia 2000. Interesting how this one is right-hand drive, so it's obviously intended for the UK market, as the Fulvias were all left-hand drive, or the vast majority. That is a really rare car, really nice looking car. Not seen one of those before, beyond the Porsche 911. Then we've got an Austin, not a Morris Minor, but the Austin variant, 500 weight van. The Austins have the sort of rippled grille. They've got a MGB Roadster over here on the Ross style wheels. Then an E30, followed by an XJS and another E30. A nice XJS. Do like these E30s. I'll have a quick look at the back to see which engine this one's got. This is a left-hand drive, this example. This is a 320, so that'll probably be a 6-cylinder one. Then we've got a very nice big Mercedes. Some of these might have been South African imports. There are a lot of these in South Africa, but that is really very nice. Really stylish, these 60s Mercedes, I think. Lovely car. We've got a bit of a rally car over here in the form of this Peugeot 205 GTI. I've seen that before. Got an E36. This is the longer wheelbase, not the compact. This could be a 1750 or a 2000. After a look at the back. Very nice Alfa. Not often you see these in blue. This is a 1750, this one. That's really nice, that. Lovely, elegant 60s saloon. I do like these old Alfas. Over here we've got a bit of a left field 60s car in the form of this Gordon Keeble. Very nice sports saloon. I do really like that. That is really smart car. I really like that. Beyond that we've got a very nice Jaguar. This is a Series 1. Probably my favourite of the lot. Let's have a look around the back to see if it's a 4.2 or 2.8. This is a 4.2, so that's the 4.2 straight six. Looks like it's an automatic, this car. Lovely condition. I do like these earlier XJs. Really nice car, that. Got a very smart MGB GT over here. And then I like this Jaguar XK 150. That's definitely a bit of me. A lovely straight six engine that made it into all sorts, from D-types to the other XK variants such as the 120 and 40. Over here we've got a trio of MG midgets, starting off with this early one, This is a Mark III example, this one with the just more chrome grille. And then we've got the slightly later one. This is probably a Mark IV or so with the different front grille setup. And wow, that's a lovely Alvis, I believe. Very, very nice. The boat tail back with that. And this is a round arch example, as you can see the round arch. You can see the squared off arch of that one. See, these are both the same car, they're the same mark, I think, but you can see round arch and squared off arch. This one looks a bit purposeful, doesn't it? A bit of a road rally car. As the Alvis passes by, we've got a lovely BMW coming in. That's probably a 3 litre CSL or similar. Looks very, very nice on those Alpina wheels, doesn't it? Over here we've got quite a few modern supercars. We've got the Aston Vanquish, and then over here we've got a very, very nice old 911. And that looks like a really, really sporty job, doesn't it? I like that. That is a lovely, lovely car. Over here we've got a few more Astons. And we've got an Alpine just around here. That's quite a thing, isn't it? I believe those were V6 powered. That's quite a thing, isn't it? Then you got the Ferrari FF, I believe that is. I like this Alpine, that's quite cool, isn't it? Then you got the TVR, I think these are the T350, aren't they? This drove past us earlier. A very, very nice little British sports car. So it can be said for not so little, but also equally nice, Aston Martin DB9. Looks like we've got a few young drivers having a go in the modern and the old Moggy. Of course, Bicester Heritage used to be an RAF base, and we've got a few planes here inside this very, very spectacular hangar. Over here we've got a McLaren 720S in the supercar section, next to a 600 LT and a GT3 RS over here. We've got quite a beefy looking Aston Martin over there. That's quite a new one. Is that a Vantage or something like that? I don't know too much about these moderns. Got an Audi R8 and another Aston Vantage next to a pairing of slightly older ones. I like the louvers on the bonnet of that one. As the Delta Integrale passes, and just looking at the huge hangar, of course, Bicester Heritage is home to a lot of small businesses like this business over here, which means there'll be a lot of lovely old cars, such as this pair of Jaguars. Well, that's actually an SS Jaguar, but we've got this one over here. It's a 3.8. Oh, this is the one to have, isn't it? Louvers in the bonnet, 3.8 Mark II. That is a lovely, lovely car. It's also manual as well. That is really, really, really nice. You've got some aerobatics going on up there. Just as I go up to look, it stopped, but there was some rolling and hooligan plane flying things going on. But anyway, back to this Jag. I really, really like that lovely, lovely engine. Really special car, that. The same can be said for this SS. Now, this could be a 1.5 litre, it could be a 2.5 litre car. So this is one of the SS Jaguars, of course. SS before it came just Jaguar. And they made some sort of roadsters things that people probably more know, and they also made saloons like this one of lovely, lovely quality, because just look at that, that is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? This is a 1.5 litre. I can tell you now, this car, I do like these big 30s saloons. Got a tax disc for 1939 in the window as well. This is a 1939 car, lovely patina on the seats. This really is my sort of car. That is lovely, isn't it? Over here we've got the 22 TT2 Aston Martin, pre-war racing car, huge history. It's a fantastic car, a friend of ours owns it. I once had a ride in it and my flat cap blew off, but happily the flat cap was recovered. This is an incredible car. It's got a little 4-cylinder in there, one of the earliest Astons still around really, and it looks like it's been capturing quite a bit of attention because it is an amazing historic car. Beyond this Elite, we have a Lotus Elan Plus 2 with the difference, and the difference is that. Now, this car is a shooting brake. Now, I don't know when it was done, but we have seen it around occasionally, and it is really, really sleek conversion. I think that looks really, really nice. It's almost like the later Elite, really, but the Elan Plus 2 shape. I really, really like that. Lovely shape. Over here is something very, very oddball and left wing. We've got a Peugeot 309 GTI, but this is the Goodwood limited edition, which means it is extremely rare. It's just a little bit breathed on. It's just a limited edition 309 GTI. Now, you don't see many 309 GTIs at all, but the Goodwood one is especially rare, so that's quite a thing to see. Here we have a Ferrari 400i, one of the slightly lesser known 80s Ferraris, or big automatic V12, very, very nice cruising car. I think these are a lovely shape, I do like them. Really, really nice example of a really, really nice car, that. They've got a McLaren 12C behind that, and a Porsche 356. And over here we've got a Rover P6. This is a 3500S. So this will be the iconic Rover 3.5 V8 as we saw in the P5B, but the S is the manual, which just means it's probably a bit slightly better driving experience, and the 3500 would just be the automatic variant of this car. So there you go. This is the manual. It's a 4-speed gearbox in this. If you've watched Car Traction for a while, you'll know that I love standards, and when we've got a Standard 8, but we used to have one of these. Now this is a Standard Vanguard Vignale Estate. Lovely old plate there, the Blue Wells plate, but this is a Vignale Estate. These are really, really nice. I've always really liked these. Really lovely design of the estate car. I believe the front was similar to the Pennant. I do really, really like these. You know I love my Standard if you've been watching for a while. That is really, really nice. Really original, possibly original. Paint's certainly been there a while. Very usable condition. That is really, really nice. And of course very practical. Look at all the stuff you can put in the back of that. I do like that. Next to the new Porsche 911 Carrera GTS, look good on those massive wheels. We've got a very, very nice Jaguar E-Type. This is a really, really nice one. Just a 2-seater, this one. Sorry?
Fixed head or roadster?
It's pretty predictable. Fixed head.
Fixed head.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just a lot sleeker. Yeah. I just really like the fixed head E-Types. I mean, I wouldn't turn away a roadster. But I just, yeah, it's just like, if say the Triumph Spitfire had the 6-cylinder engine out of the GT6, I'd still have the GT6 because I just like fastback.
And they don't drip
sort
in.
of. That is very true.
They don't drip in.
But like MGB Roadster, MGB GT, definitely GT.
Fair enough then.
I have a thing for
go.
fixed head cars.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The old
I do really, really like that. As I said, I certainly wouldn't turn away a roadster. I do like roadster driving, wind in your hair, but I think I'd probably prefer a fixed head personally, because just look how beautiful that is. Over here we got a fully kitted out Series 2 Land Rover. There's so many rare and obscure cars today, including this Volvo 480 Turbo. When was the last time you saw one of these? That is a really incredibly rare sight. We got a very, very nice Triumph 2000, the 2-litre straight 6 in there. This is a manual overdrive example, 4-speed plus overdrive and probably 3rd and 4th. Really nice on those mini lights. I do like estates, fixed heads and estates, I do really like. But I'm afraid I'm just going to have to walk away from that, because what on earth is this Woodie? Wow, what a thing. I presume it's American. I'll have to look around the front. This is an old Ford, probably a flathead V8, certainly a V8. Oh, that is beautiful. The patina on that is just lovely. How lovely and original does the wood and paint on that look? And also the seats inside, that is absolutely jaw-droppingly gorgeous, isn't it? That is beautiful. Lovely Art Deco interior in there, that is so nice. You just couldn't recreate the aging on the paints and wood of that. Whoa, that is lovely. Got 3 rows of seats in total as well, so it's very practical if you've got a lot of friends. Oh, just the way that the paint crackles and all the just wood weathering, it just looks absolutely brilliant. That is one of my favourite things I've seen here today. That is absolutely lovely, isn't it? Then we've got the little Morris Mini Traveller. That's a really nice one actually, isn't it? Once again, I'd rather have a Traveller than the Saloon Mini, because I have this thing about estates and fixed heads. This is an early one because it's got sliding windows there. All very, very nice wood on that. That is incredible, I love that. Oh, we've got 2 more absolutely gorgeous woodies. We've got this Rolls Royce over here. I saw this at Goodwood last year. What a thing that is. The interior is absolutely beautiful in there. The quality of this is just absolutely endless. I mean, even like the glass plate over the number plate, that's not needed, but it's just there and it looks absolutely beautiful. I do like woodies. And once again, the patina and originality of this one, it just looks really, really nice. Really, really lovely car, that. And then, it looks like is this an SS? This is a Bentley, this one. That's a real rarity, a Bentley Woodie. Wow, I do like these woodies we're seeing here. The lovely mid-30s design of the absolutely massive front headlamps. Then we've got the 2 nice horns and spot lamp in the middle. Pretty similar to an SS at the front. That is really, really lovely. Nice old seats in that as well. What a thing that is. That's incredible. These woodies are absolutely amazing, aren't they? The Woody theme continues with this Ford Taurus. This really sums up American cars in the 90s, doesn't it? And there's no words to explain it, to be honest. Just this is America in the 90s. The sort of huge station wagons and the wood effect all down the side and back. Wow, of its era, let's say. And I think I'll leave it at that. So we've got something big and American. Another station wagon over here. Now, what actually is it? It's a Chevrolet, is it? Nova? Looks like a Nova front to me. That's nice, but yeah, it's Nova. Being a station wagon back. Looks like it's a little bit breathed on inside. That is cool, isn't it? And here, now this is incredible. The Skoda Estate, and yeah, yes, a Skoda. Look at the door handle. I mean, the boot handle, yeah, but it probably opens like a door, doesn't it? What a thing this is. So elegant. It's like the old DKWs and other obscure sort of East European cars. Column shift. What an interior that is. I'm going to have to go and have a look at the other side just to have a look at these lovely dials. Absolutely beautiful. Over here we have not a Herald estate but a Vitesse estate, because it's got the 2 lights there. So it's got the 2 litre straight 6 engine, but on an estate. Now that is really unusual. You see Herald estates, but I don't know if a Vitesse estate was even a thing. Has this been specially built, or is it actually a car that's got a 4-speed manual and all Triumph running gear? Has this been like a different chassis or different body put on it? I really don't know. This is an overdrive car, nice GB sticker. That is really, really nice, I like that. Interesting how we got dials all the way over here. That looks like a speedo all the way over there when the drive's all the way over there. That will be a lovely car to drive with that torquey engine. This has to be the craziest Morgan I've ever seen. It looks like the sort of thing that would compete in the Dakar Rally. It says prototype vehicle all over it, so there's something special about it. But that is quite a thing, isn't it? Over here we've got something that is absolutely gorgeous. A Humber Super Sniper Estate. I really like these sort of big estate cars, like the wraparound glass, so stylish. That is lovely. Nice how the rear window opens as well. And then we've got something on the other end of the scale that I also love. Now I thought this is also Bianchi, but actually this is a Fiat 500, but it's a sort of estate body. And you can see the positive camber of the rear wheels, all very simple. These cars, suicide doors as well, rear hinge. It's really, really nice little car, very tasteful. Then we got another huge American station wagon over here, also with wood effect down the side. Got a Series 1 Land Rover. This is quite a nice one. Just about fit 3 seats for 3 people. One of them has to be a bit small, really, really chunky, knobbly tyres. We've got a Cayman GT4. A lot of Porsches here. If rear engine cars are your thing, then this is the place for you. We've got a very, very nice M5 over here. I love the shape of these. Really, really sharp looking car, I think. Over here we've got a bright yellow NSX V6 rear engine, one of the more sensible supercars of the time and probably one of the more reliable and tolerable supercars of the time. Very, very revolutionary. This is one of the first ones because it's got the actual pop-up headlights. Later on when they had like the fancy suspension that had something to do with Senna. I don't know the real story about that. But yeah, this is the early one. As the other ones, like the Senna ones, I guess you can call them, had like exposed lights there. Then we've got a 944 and some very, very nice and wide wheels next to a very early, because it's on steel wheels, midget. That's a lovely car, that. Over here we've got a bit of a race prepped Ford Cortina. That's quite an early one. Next to a Porsche Carrera, and we've got some nice cars inside. Got quite an early Healy. That's 104, that one, so that'd be the 4-cylinder one. That's lovely, isn't it? There's a tilting back windscreen, really sort of like racing type of car, isn't it? Really, really, really lovely, that. Nice leather straps across the louvered bonnet as well. I do like that. We've got a Ferrari F355, very revvy V8 in these, I believe. And then there's a Ferrari F12 just beyond that. And right, we've got a couple of rally cars over here. What's this? We've got a Lancia Delta Integrale. But I'm more interested in this Peugeot. And I don't know what sort of Peugeot it is. Got Peking to Paris and Safari Rally stickers on it. That's cool, isn't it? I still don't know what sort of Peugeot, but I can tell you it is a Peugeot. That's quite a thing, isn't it? It's probably front wheel drive. That's very, very rare. Over here we've got something very, very nice. Now this is a pre-war Bugatti. It might be like a Type 35 or something. And this will have a straight 8 engine of probably about 2.5 litres, but the hole in the side of the bonnet means that this is a supercharged model, so that's even faster. I love the really sort of bare-boned interior of these old Bugattis. That is a really, really lovely car. Pre-war Grand Prix car. That is lovely, isn't it? And of course with the supercharged one you get the extra performance and the lovely whine of any old supercharger. And beyond that we got a little Alfa Romeo. This looks like a 1600. A few of these get rallied, including this one by the looks of things. Over here's a very, very nice Triumph TR4A with the extra 2 little lights at the front. Looks very, very nice on those mini lights. British Racing Green, the right colour for these really. And then we got a bit of a race prepped MGB. That looks quite purposeful, doesn't it? And its predecessor was over here, an MGA. Now my sort of principles continue with the MGA. I'd rather have a fixed head one than a convertible one because I really like the look of the fixed head ones. And I think that looks really nice, debumpered, extra lights, all sorts of racing bits all over it. Really, really lovely car. Looks like it's got some sort of radio equipment inside it or something or other. But that is very, very nice. Louvers in the bonnet. I do like louvers. Really, really nice. Possibly even a period rally or road racing car. 1600 4-cylinder engine. You can see all the rally equipment in that. Quite a cramped interior as well, but a really, really nice car nonetheless. Over here is a lovely Austin 6. Lovely 6-cylinder engine in there. And the one thing that drew me to this car is the solid wheels. Now usually cars of this era, sort of the 30s basically, it would only be Citroens that had the solid wheels, but this Austin has solid wheels itself, and I think that is absolutely gorgeous. That is a really, really swish car. Let's have a quick look in the back because it looks like a fairly comfortable place to be through the back window. Quite a bit of legroom in there. Really, really nice 30s saloon. Lovely interior as well. Now what on earth is this? This is cool, isn't it? Is it a Vauxhall? Standard. Wow, it's a Standard. I'm just trying to have a quick look at the bonnet. This is incredible, isn't it? I love these sort of hill climb, sprint special things. Really, really nice that. It's basically a Standard 8 underneath. That is quite a thing, isn't it? Now, this is a Riley, I believe. One of the really nice Riley pre-war cars, of course, pre-selector. You can just see it there, those pre-selector boxes went into all sorts from Rileys like this, Riley Specials, to even ERAs, the pre-war racing cars. Now this is, on this particular Riley, it's really nice. Now, one thing I always really like about these Rileys is the lovely Riley logo in the headlamps. I do really, really like that. Now, what is this? I'm going to have a look at the bonnet again. A Sidley Special. That's quite a thing, isn't it? A mid-30s saloon again, isn't it? Seems to be a bit of a theme with red on the bottom and black on the top, the two-tone livery. Huge tyres and wheels, aren't they? Well, that's a lovely interior. I really like this one. I've never seen anything like this before. Sidley Special. Of course, everyone's heard of Armstrong Sidley, but just Sidley Special, I haven't heard that. Looks like a pretty big engine in there. It might even be like, it's probably a straight 6 is the smallest it's going to be, isn't it? Could even be 8-cylinder, I just don't know with this. We've got a nice Pratt's can adorning the running board of this Alvis. This is probably a 1250. Very, very nice car, that. I like all these pre-war ones, I'm sure you know. Now this really is my sort of shed. Lots of lovely pre-war kit in here, apart from the MG8 of course, but we've got a Riley Special over here. The really nice old style of tyres, I do like that. And they've got a Morris Cowley Special. Wow, I've never seen a body like that on one of those. That is quite a thing. If we nip through here, we'll have a look at this Sunbeam. That is a lovely, lovely car. Lots of really, really nice pre-war metal here. Got an MG Special, I haven't seen one like that before. That's quite a thing, isn't it? Next to another MGA. That's probably supercharged. I can just see the top of the carburettor peeking through there, so it's probably a carburettor fed supercharger. Well, there's a lot here. There's even a Renault NN Tourer over there. Those are quite a groovy thing. We got the old Morris Special over here as well. And over there we've got a Riley badged ERA. As I said, Riley had a lot of involvement with the ERAs and that. There's Riley gearbox, and I don't know if they had something to do with the engine, but it's definitely a Riley pre-selector box, so that is really, really nice. There's a lot of nice pre-war metal in here, but that Morris Cowley Special, I've never seen anything like that before. That is a really, really unique one. Then we got this Riley Special here, the lovely beaded steering wheel for grip. Just everything is so lovely in here. And I really like this MG. I'll just sneak past here to have a quick look. Nice old seat, wow. Lovely old single seater, red lines at 8,000 RPM. That's a revvy one, isn't it? I love these pre-war specials. Very nice, got the gear lever in the middle there. That would be a bit concerning if it came to a sudden stop, considering you're sitting there, wouldn't it? And here's the interior of the Sunbeam. That is absolutely gorgeous. Got a wacky Citroen over here. This will be one of the ones with the crazy adjustable suspension. Looks like it's on the pretty low setting at the moment. That is quite a thing, isn't it? An old CX. It started to rain now, so everyone's rushing indoors. Tucked away here, we got a very, very tasty Aston Martin DB2, I believe this one is. That is a lovely GT car, isn't it? This is why I like fixed head GT cars, because that is just beautiful, isn't it? Beyond the Ferrari 458, over in this building, there's an absolutely jaw-dropping Alfa Romeo. That is really a bit of me. Was it that one? The other day we were looking at on Car and Classic for Alfa Romeos, just because we were bored, and we saw a coupe just like this. And I think it might be that one, but that is absolutely gorgeous, and that is quite the pedal car. A lovely Ford model of some sort, probably a BB or something like that, I'm told. Truck over here, this is really nice, isn't it? I do like these old commercials. This is probably about 1930, isn't it? It's quite a thing. We've got an old 911S Targa over there. We are looking at this truck now. That is lovely, isn't it? Really, really nice old design. Got a lovely Alvis over here next to a Porsche. And, oh, this is nice, not a Mark II, but an S-Type Jaguar. Let's see what engine is in this one. That's the 3.4 litre, so that's one of the much bigger engines. That is really, really nice. Of course, the S-Type was later than the Mark II, and it had an independent rear suspension, so the back's a bit different. The back's more like a 420G, but you can see the similarity of the front, similar to a Mark II, but underneath it is very, very different. This Armstrong Siddeley really is the definition of time warp, isn't it? That is absolutely amazing. We got the blackout lamps as well there, just to direct the lamps below. It sounds lovely. It's a 6-cylinder engine. Let's have a listen to that. What an idea that is. I love these old 6-cylinder cars. Lovely exhaust as well. That sounds lovely. Lovely 6-cylinder burble. Beyond the Porsche Carrera GT, we've got an absolutely gorgeous Jaguar XK 120. Now that is absolutely lovely. What a great drive roadster that would be. That is really, really lovely. Is this an aluminium body one?
It may be.
Because, yes, so the steel bodied ones had the lights here that were blended into the wing, but the aluminium bodied ones, obviously that wasn't aluminium, that was just a separate bit of steel. So the aluminium bodied ones were obviously lighter and a bit sportier, so this is actually like a really sporty one if it is an aluminium bodied one, and a much, much rarer one than a steel bodied one. Now this is the one you'd want really, because that is absolutely stunning. Looks like we have a Bugatti hiding away under the cover there due to the rain, and there's a Porsche over there. There's an Airstream caravan as well. And here we got an XK 120, and this is a fixed head one. Now I think actually I probably prefer, dare I say it, that Roadster over there. So I'm going against the grain a bit, saying that I prefer the Roadster, but I would certainly accept one of these because that is jaw-dropping again. Then we've got the new BMW M4 over here. Over here we've got a sweet little Morris 4-seat Tourer. That's a very nice little car, a little Miner. I do like that. Now we've got some really nice specials over here. We've got a lovely Fraser Nash over here. These were known as the Chain Gang cars. The people who drove them were known as the Chain Gang because of course they're chain driven. The Fraser Nash. This is absolutely gorgeous. Sort of thing that you see everywhere at VSCC events, but they're just beautiful, aren't they? Now what is this? I'm going to have to use the information board for this. A 1925 Japik cycle car recreation, but it looks like it's built like the old one. That is really... that must be so light, you can probably lift it up with one hand. Top speed of 80 miles per hour. I love these old speed trial specials. Just a tiny motorbike engine and nothing else really. Look at the size of the axle and how thin the tyres are and everything. I love these pre-war specials, absolutely brilliant things. And then, wow, we've got a Rolls Royce over here. Now this is a really early one. This is probably 1910s. This one, look at how far the chassis goes back. That makes me think this would have been a big saloon at once. The size of the diff as well. And then this has been since converted to sort of special racing car thing. But that, huge tyres, aren't they? That is really, really nice. Over here is a lovely Alvis TE21. I believe the TD was the single headlight ones. The TE was the one that came after. So this is a TE, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now these are an ash frame car. So underneath all the sort of sleek metal, there will be an ash frame or wooden frame, which does make them a huge restoration project when they go wrong. But this one is absolutely pristine, isn't it? It's such a swish car. Absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Just look at that interior. Lovely 6-cylinder coupe, isn't it? That is so, so nice. Over here we've got a bit of an escort specialist with a fairly stock one and a rally modified one. Now I remember that one. That's the Alton Park Rally, and it had a huge lockup going into the chicane, but thankfully it made it through, so that is an active rally car, and this one looks fairly unmodified. Got a pair of 250 SL Mercedes over here. One of them is the convertible, one of them's the hardtop. I believe these were the Pagoda, weren't they? These are both automatic examples. These are such beautiful cars, aren't they? Absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? The stuff here today is incredible for a January meet. These are absolutely amazing. Over here we've got a lovely Riley 4-seat tour with the tonneau cover to keep all those lovely patinated seats dry. Look at those lovely original number plates. A couple of specials in there I can see as well. That is nice, isn't it? The sort of thing you'd see competing at most VSCC events. Lovely, lovely car. Very, very nice. And now, what is this over here? I'm going to have a look at the front again. Ah, this is a Triumph. That's an interesting model. I presume it's pre-war. I haven't seen a Triumph of this type before, I think. Nice interior. I can't tell you what model it is because I don't know. Very, very nice nonetheless. We've got a very nice Riley over here as well. This will be another pre-selected car. Rear hinge doors. I like the little R on the bonnet releases. Another Riley tour over here with the dicky seat and 2 seats for the much more comfortable passengers in there. Oh, it's an Alvis, sorry, actually. I mistook it for a Riley. Yes, it's the iconic Alvis 1250 front. Another little Riley special over here. And now that is lovely. I always thought these look like a lot like one of the pre-war Alfas, like the 8C or something. I can't remember. Is it Riley Brooklands these are called or something like that? But this looks really original, doesn't it? Look at the paint on that. But yeah, I love the front. There's one of these that goes to the Lowton Park hill climb, which I filmed a few times. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And here we got a Mini 1275 GT, and oh wow. There's a Renault 4CV. Now this one is in a very jazzy livery. Ours is blue body, blue wheels. This is cream bodied red wheels. Now this is a French market one, obviously being left-hand drive. The dashboard's changed a few times. It's got an interesting little light setup on the back. Ours has got just the 2 little brake lights either side. That's quite a thing, isn't it? It's got little indicators there as well. All these subtle differences. Sliding windows. The UK market ones had wind-up windows like ours, but this one, French one, sliding windows. Of course, rear engine 745cc, is it? I think that is a very, very nice thing to see. They've got a Testarossa over here, flat 12. These are, I believe. There's 944 as well next to another Maserati and another McLaren 720S. A few Rileys hiding away in here. Wow, these are beautiful, aren't they? And the very nice MG hiding away in the corner. Oh, I can see a lovely Jaguar XK 120 over here. Looks like there's an XK 140 next to it. The 120 and 40 very similar, but you can see how the 140 has the slightly wider slats. That looks nice with those leather straps and the louvers, but whoa, that is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if that was a period correct racing car. And Brooklyn's aero screens. That is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Wow. And next to that is a very nice E-Type. It's got its engine on show. Let's have a quick look. 4.2 litre straight six. Over here we've got the first motorbikes of the video. We've got some very old ones here in the form of this 1927 Sunbeam. Looks like these are all for sale. I do like these early ones. Now this really is a special bike. This is a 1932 Brough Superior, and this is 1000cc, but this is the SS100, which is probably the best old bike. The Brough Superiors are just absolutely stunning. And have a quick guess to yourself what the estimate of this is, because these are all going to sale. But the Brough Superiors are the absolute best of the best for really old bikes, and the estimate of this is 150 to 180,000 pounds for this bike right in front of me. That is absolutely incredible, isn't it? This really is the daddy of all historic bikes. That is really incredible. Beyond the very early 911, could even be a 901 or 9912, is this. I believe this is one of the Proteus, is it? C-Type replica. Lovely, lovely car. I do like these replicas. The Proteus replicas are really good, but I think Jag got a bit angry about all these little companies making replicas, so they're not making them anymore. I think Jaguar make their own ones. This might be one of them because it's got a Jaguar sticker there, but that is absolutely beautiful. I know it's a replica and it was probably built about 5 years ago, but still.
C-Type or D-Type, which would you have?
Oh, don't make me choose between C-Type or D-Type. Were we talking replica or real one?
Either.
I'd possibly say C-Type, because it's the iconic. I wouldn't refuse a D-Type, as I said before, obviously, but I reckon a C-Type would be a bit more practical because you can fit two people in it a bit better. I'm just saying that now. If someone has to put up with you having something like this. I do like the C-Types, as I'm sure you can tell. I'll have to keep speaking consistently because I don't want to get copyrighted for having music, so please excuse my fast speaking. We've got the Morgan set up over here and everyone's crowding around the new Morgan three-wheeler. Now this has a 3-cylinder Ford engine. It's the first Morgan three-wheeler replica that has not a motorbike engine but a 3-cylinder engine out of a Ford Fiesta or something like that, and it's been updated a lot. You can see the flat sides, that's for luggage I believe. This is the new Morgan three-wheeler. So here's a quick look at it. Still the iconic design, but it's been updated a lot for this year. Quite an interesting car. Got a pairing of white with the DS and the Mark II Jaguar. That's very, very wacky, and that has Sterling Moss's name on the side of that Jaguar. I'll have to have a close look at that. He must have raced this one. This will be a 3.8 if it's a racing one. That is very, very nice. This is a 3.4, this one, yeah. Jaguar 340, so this is probably one of the slightly earlier ones. Lovely car. Maybe this was owned by Sterling Moss, I don't know. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. And seen anything you like here? I know I have. Please let me know what you like. Oh, now I've got to have a look at this, because I know modern cars I don't usually feature that much, but Lotus are making an SUV, is the Electric, an electric SUV, which I think is terrible, personally, because they've been making little sports cars for the whole existence of the brand. But let me know what you think about this huge piece of plastic. And we've got this is a mirror, I believe. This is a bit more like it. It's a V6 mid-engined. This is the sort of car that Lotus is made to make, little sporty cars, but maybe just to sort of help the company's finances, they needed to make something a bit more practical for the average person. But I think that's a bit of a boat. I'm not going to lie, I don't like that at all. There's absolutely nothing for me, but let me know what you think about these modern cars. This Jag is much more to my taste. And very nice Volvo 121 Amazon estate here. This really is a bit of me. I love these sort of things, really practical, really usable. You could probably daily drive these old estate cars. This is just absolutely brilliant. I like Amazons, but the estates, whoa, I just love them. I mean, how nice is that? It's almost like the Standard Vanguard, but a Swedish version. That's just lovely, I think. Now this, you probably couldn't daily drive this because this is a full-blown racing Alfa Romeo GTA. Lovely looking cars, these. Here is yet another gorgeous Alfa Romeo. After a look at the back, this is a Giulia Sprint GT. It's just absolutely beautiful, so sleek. And over here we've got a Sebring Sprite. Now that really is a rarity. Little 60s sporting job. This Alfa Romeo is a bit spectacular with that wide body, isn't it? I'd like to see that going up a hill climb. Another slightly obscure and left field British sports car is this Bristol. Really, really nice car. One of the sort of secrets of the 60s British motoring, really, isn't it? It's nice that it looks like we've got a Bentley in there as well. That's a bit tasty in there. I might have a look at that after when it's a bit quieter. We'll have to see. This really, really is a very sleek car. Over here we've got one of a few veteran cars here today. This one's an Overland. I love the brass lamps they get on this thing. And then beyond that is an E-Type, which is a bit of a first because it is on Wolf Race wheels. I haven't seen that before. Over here we've got a stand for Fuzz Townsend Classic Oils. And we've got a Stutz here, which is for sale. That's a really groovy thing, isn't it? Indianapolis. That is really cool. I like that big American Tourer next to the British equivalent, the Bentley. Now this is no Fiat Panda, this is the Fiat Panda 4x4, the off-roading edition. Now these are very, very sought after now, so that is a very, very rare thing to see. Well, in here, we've got a few lovely Bentleys in here, wow. Quite a setup in here, all these lovely old car businesses. I like this big saloon one here. These are absolutely gorgeous. Wow, look at that. Gorgeous cars, aren't they? The Bugatti has been unsheathed from its cover. Over here is a very small and very sweet little Austin 7. Looks very, very nice in the dark red. Helpfully slid down the window so I can have a quick peek inside. Lovely little cars these, aren't they? Over here we've got the mobile beer dispenser. As you can see, we've got all the beer stored in here, so maybe it goes to the driver, I don't know. But it looks like it means business, doesn't it? It's pretty big, but the main thing is the beer in the back. It's quite a funny car, isn't it?
Let's go and get something to eat.
Pretty good way to dispense beer on the move. Nice little Austin 7 rolling past. Here's a very nice Lee Francis with the tonneau cover. Is this a dicky seat or is it? Yeah, I think that will be. So the unwanted passenger will go in there. And then we got a Mustang over here. This is the coupe, as it is called, where it's got the boot. Now this is really nice. Look at that. Stop Lancia. Now this, I think, that's a lovely brake light, isn't it? I think this is a Lancia Lambda. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's a Lancia Lambda. And that is really nice because that would be like a really torquey 4-cylinder engine power, that would be like, I don't know, 4 litre, 3.5 litre probably, and that would go really, really nicely. Nice original number plates is there as well. That is really nice, isn't it? This 2 litre straight 6 powered Bristol is absolutely lovely. Sliding windows, really original. Look at that dash. Oh, the patina on that. I like these little indicator things, they're quite cute. This is gorgeous, isn't it? I love the old Bristols. Of course, Bristol made the engines that went into the AC Ace and a Seeker, and they made quite a few other racing engines like Cooper Bristol. So there's certainly quite a bit of racing pedigree in this car. That is really, really nice, isn't it? Now this is very nice, an old Bugatti Tourer. I've seen a couple of Bugatti racing cars, but you don't see these very often. A Bugatti Tourer, 2-seat Tourer. That's a really, really nice thing, isn't it? It's in the Goldfinger Bugatti livery, although the Goldfinger was actually a Bentley. Wow, what is that? That's cool, isn't it? I don't even know what that's even for. But it's like a little lamp on the side. We've got a noisy motorbike over there. That's quite a thing, that. And then an Alvis TE21. Now this is a really early MGC. It's quite a nice one. That's why I've got quite a large exhaust. But this is obviously not a B, it's a C, but it's got the nice early interior that I like, the nice MG logo on the steering wheels. I think those look really nice. And this is a 4-speed manual car, so if I had to have any MGC GT, it would be one like this. A nice early one with a nice early steering wheel and a 4-speed manual, because a lot of these were autos. Painted wires, this really is the ideal spec for me. I do really, really like that. That is a very nice car. Lovely 6-cylinder engine. It's very, very, very nice being a manual. Oddly enough, here we have the first TR6 I've seen today. I would have thought this moment would have been long ago, but no, haven't been any other TR6s here, I think, apart from this one. And this one is a nice one. It's a nice manual one, 2.5 straight 6 engine. It was always good with a manual one. Of course, these are all manuals, but this is an early one, so it's the non-overdrive, as some of them were a manual and overdrive. So this one's got an arguably slightly more primitive gearbox, I guess you could say. It's a very, very nice example, that. We're in the other side of the very, very nice building. Let's have a quick look then. We've got an MG Special here. Very typical VSCC car. Then we've got a Jaguar Jupiter. Sort of a mini XK 120 really, isn't it? Really, really nice those. We've got another Renault NN Tourer. There's the green one, then there's an Alvis. And then there's the other NN just over there. You can see the same front. Now what is this? I believe this is another Alvis, this blue one here. Is it? I'll have to have a quick look around the front. The Lino? Is that correct? I've never seen one of these before. Can say absolutely nothing about those. I don't know what the one next along is. Oh, that's an Austin 7, but I can't quite see that one. There's some weird stuff here. I'll have to have a quick look around the back maybe. I've never seen anything like that. A Lino. No, I don't know anything like that. It looks like it's got a few VSCC badges, so maybe it competes, so maybe one day we'll see it. We've got the ERA there. That's pretty nice. And then a couple of Austin 7s there, and then something yellow, which I can't quite tell what it is. And then we've got the 2 Renault NNs. I've just realised that I'm blind and I can't see that there's a C there, so it's a Clino, this car, but still haven't heard of it. Yeah, funny thing that. Now this really is special. This is a 1919 Indian that was used at Daytona for the land speed record. And that is just, whoa, That is quite a thing now. These were often used for like the wall of death type things. It's something to do with like, is it the feed of the carburetor or something? But it means that they could run just as well sideways. It's something like that. I can't remember. But like when we saw the wall of death at I can't remember where it was. They all used Indians, and that's because of that reason, that they're good at running sideways. But this is a land speed record bike. This one. I do like the old Indians. They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? And that is no exception. So they set the first motorcycle land speed record on the 14th of April 1920 at 103 miles per hour. That is quite a thing, that. This is another early MGC because it's also got the sprung steering wheel. But this, of course, this is a roadster, as the other one was a GT, and this one's got its engine on show. Lovely 3 litre on there, about straight 6. Very, very nice. Then we've got a little go-kart thing, that looks a bit scary, next to a big like Austin 10 or 12 chassis. Nice old Morris 8 Series E tucked away in this corner. That's lovely and original, isn't it? That's got the look I'd want in a car like this. This Capri over here sounds pretty mean. Well, this car park's looking a bit more sparse now, but I've just noticed that we've got a nice little Riley here. But look at this, a Jensen 541R. These are really, really round. I really like them. It's an epic, epic looking car, I think. Lovely Jensen 6-cylinder, I'm pretty sure they are. Lovely painted wires, just really suit the car. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I really like these old British, sort of slightly more obscure cars like Bristols and ACs and Jensens and all sorts. Just really, really nice. And I think this is no exception. Look at those lovely original number plates as well. This could even be the original paint because it looks like it's been there for a long, long time, and it looks really good on this car. I think this is absolutely beautiful. Then we got a Mercedes 280, but I think with that, it's about it from our day at the Bicester Heritage January Scramble event. Now, it's a really good event. I'd suggest coming down if you liked any memories of the cars, if you liked any of the cars, which was your favourite, all that stuff. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe because we're almost at 1,000 and every subscriber counts. And that's pretty much it. Make sure to like and all that. Check out other videos. But to avoid me waffling, I'm just going to stop it now. Thanks for watching.